Hello walkers, where are we? We're in Madeira. We're here in Camara De Lobos and we're having a look at a little side of the town maybe we haven't looked at before. Should point out the boat, and the date is quite important, 1419 to 2019, so that was to commemorate 600 years of the discovery of Madeira, 1419. And here is a particularly important place to commemorate that, because it is believed that it was here that the founder came upon the harbour, which he thought, well, this is quite fantastic to stow my boats away. They'll be safe against the stormy tides. And so we believe it was here the Madeira was discovered. And Madeira means wood. So when they arrived, there was a lot of trees around. I know, this is very handy, they thought. What we can turn trees into, I've no idea. But I'm sure that something will come to mind, and it did. Wood. Now, did I point out, let me just swing you around. Let's look back the way we started. And up there, way up there on that hill. Now I know you can't see it because you probably don't have the eyes of an eagle that I do, but take it from me. There's a little promontory up there, just near the top. That is Cabo Girão. So that's the famous skywalk. You can stand on its glass and you can look all the way down, sort of 500 meters or so. And that's where we were just a couple of hours ago. So we walked down here. So we did the Cabo Girão to Camara De Lobos walk, and it's on our channel if you haven't seen it before. It's a great walk. The views are absolutely phenomenal, and obviously if you do it in that direction, Cabo Girão down, then it's all downhill. Some people do it the other way around. It's all uphill every single step. Just, I suppose we should pause for a minute, shouldn't we? Just to allow your oracular organs to open wide and just to take in the view. The colours, the blue sky, the banana. It's a tricky word, isn't it? Banana plantations up there. And we're going to come down here. Camara De Lobos. What does it mean? Well, I think it means chamber of seals. And the reason is because when Zarco arrived here, 1419, there wasn't just a lot of wood in the form of trees awaiting them. There were a colony of monk seals. And Lobos, that's where we get the name. So, see this pole with washing hang on it, just in front of me, and I'm just lining it up with a little red marker. Looks like a post office box, but it isn't. Just to the left, you may be able to make out a restaurant named Churchill's right on it. So it was from there, from that viewpoint, that the Winston Churchill, yes, that's right, not a Winston Churchill, but the Winston Churchill, did a painting of the bay. Was it any good? To be honest, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I kind of like the idea of not seeing it because if it turned out to be really bad, I'd feel quite, well, that would spoil the story somewhat, wouldn't it, really? Look at that, little scenes like that send your heart a flutter, don't they? And I have yet to sit out here at the Minerva, but it looks very pleasant. As I come down here, I'm doing my speciality crab walk, walking sideways. If you could see it, you'd be impressed. Most people are. Now look at that. We're going to be heading out that way later, back to the end so you can see what's out there. But for now, another view up at Churchill's viewpoint. Where's all the boats? You're saying I've been cheated. They're normally out there, well, maybe in summer they are, but they're ashore here and we'll have a look at them later. Just on a Churchill Bay. Famous bronze of Churchill here. Someone's taken his paintbrush. So interestingly, so many people come and touch this. They recently did a swab test on him. Now, where would you believe in the whole of Europe would you find the highest concentration of cocaine? Well, apart from a drugs bust, on Mr. Churchill there, would you believe? Where would you find the highest concentration of dried urine? That's right, not everyone has washed their hands from going to the loo. On Mr. Churchill there. And of course, COVID. Fun fact for you. I say fact, by the way, in inverted commas. If you don't know already, some things I say are absolutely true, and some things I say, well, just to amuse myself on the walk. It's up for you to decide. Was that true? Was that false? So, fisherman, playing strip poker. See, they've only just started, so we've got the clothes on, thank God. You've got two main sets of restaurants down here. You've got these ones with the view. Might be a little bit more expensive, and you've got the road behind us, which we'll look at in a minute. And up on the road above, you see people piling off the tour buses. So you've got the yellow bus and you've got the other sightseeing bus, so they all stop here. But of course, if you come here under your own steam, you can just head up there and you can get a Road West bus. That'll take you back to Funchal. If you want to take one of the normal Funchal yellow buses, you can, but it's about a 15-minute walk from here. You'll have to look up on Google Maps. Basically, the easiest way, see those stairs going up there? You follow those up, head out that way, have a look at Google Maps. I'm going to head around the back here, because I can. One thing that really distinguishes this town, Chamber of Seals, as we've all discovered it actually means, is they have a lot of art here. And behind us, normally on the quay, especially in the summer, you'd have a lot of art there. Beautiful displays, all about the sea. Down here to the right, always have something hanging down here. I do like the painted drums, the oil drums. There's a big feature down here of taking discarded materials like pigeons, dogs, etc., and finding another use for them. Case in point. Pretty amazing what you can do with old tin cans. Ginormous sheep, ginormous goats attacking small innocent shepherds' huts. We forget those were very difficult days for most people. Back to looking at Cabo Girão again. I don't know if you can see over there, by the way, the orange building. So that's storing Madeira wine. I don't know how many thousands of barrels there are. Storing them for one of the producers. Hello Benny, I told you not to follow us. Sorry about that, it keeps tagging along. Tries to get in every shot. It's quite difficult. Sometimes if you find the camera lurches, just because we're trying to get rid of him, that's all. This area down here, looks like it doesn't get used, but it does. So you get paragliders drop down from just above us up there, Cabo Girão, and they attempt anyway at least to land down here, but there's as few people as possible to kill, which I think is very decent of them. There are no paragliders right now, so you just have to imagine what it'd be like. Someone leaping off their canopy, unfurling, catching the air beneath it. This flimsy yet sturdy wing of gossamer material that holds up the weight of one or two people floats gently down on caressing winds. And most of the time manages not to run into an electricity pylon or a bridge. We're going to tackle along the coast here. I did say I'd take you back to that little bay. I'm a man of my word. There's a little fun fact for you. Don't like to tell people, but I did a club pilot license course years ago for paragliding. I enjoyed it. I didn't really take it any further. It was good fun, and I have to say I wasn't really put off when on the first day, the first person who ran down the hill and tried to get a chute up ended up caught in a barbed wire fence and had to be taken to hospital and given tetanus jabs. That actually didn't put any of us off at all. He was back the next day. We all just brush things like that off. You know, all in a day's work. Where we started, by the way, with the big boaty thing. That was up there. You can get up there this way. There is a set of steps at the back here. It's nowhere near as impressive. It's a bit scabby, to be honest. Another interesting fact for you. So coming down from Cabo Girão today, as you do, you see a lot of little lizards. If you've been to Madeira, see them everywhere, basking in the sun. Tiny little things, sometimes an inch or two long, sometimes maybe 3 or 4. You also see a lot of cats. Lots of cats, lots of lizards. It's always intrigued us, do the cats eat the lizards? We always figured there must be something about the lizards that's a bit off-putting. Maybe there's some nasty little poison sac in them. You know, certain frogs aren't good to eat. But we were shocked and stunned today when we saw a little ginger tom, a little pink nose, they're very cute, pounce on a lizard, play with it as they do, and then devour it. Well, I mean, Yvonne was mortified, absolutely. She's got far more delicate sensibilities than I, and especially because she's been reading Jane Eyre. In fact, she's partway through Jane Eyre at the moment. She's about 2/3 of the way through. It's on the eve of her wedding. And so, of course, her Victorian sensibilities are now heightened. They are elevated. And so it's quite disturbing. Anyway, we got over it pretty quickly. But there we are, you see. That answers a bit of a conundrum. Do the cats eat the lizards? I like these down here. They look like discarded Lego bricks, don't they? I did see someone climbing out of the surf earlier and climbing up here. I thought surely there's easier places to swim. I guess you know something that I don't. It's like the Giant's Causeway, isn't it, if you've been to Ireland. It's a little bit bigger, by the way. I've been on the genuine article. It's a little smaller than the pictures might make out, but the fact that it's completely natural is pretty mind-blowing. These, by the way, in case you hadn't realised, aren't natural. They are concrete blocks. They've got the little iron rings in the top so they can be lowered into place. This little area here, sometimes you find they'll have a little pop-up event here. So there was it wasn't the summer, there was a bar up here, maybe this is the year before. Oh look, Churchill's again. I think they're slightly trading on Churchill's link here, but I don't blame them. It's good to have a story, isn't it? This time, we're going down. We're going to stay down here. Let me just step back a moment. Possible link, perhaps. Camara De Lobos, Chamber of the Seals. What have we got here? Okay, no. Be sensible. It's a seal. And again, keeping up that tradition of making use of things that are found. I'm starting to sound like the Wombles, aren't I, really, there? Or the plastic that's found and discarded, it's used in the fishing industry or just gets washed up here. It's great to see that they make use of it. That, by the way, on the left, another Pastana hotel. Interesting thing, by the way, we were talking about reading Jane Eyre earlier. So that's something we discovered because we thought, well, while everyone's reading that, let's learn a little bit about the Brontes. So I think most people naturally believe it was Charlotte Bronte, was that right? Who wrote Jane Eyre? Yeah. Well, I think we're both sort of disheartened, really, to find out about the Brontes' secret brother, Bamber Bronte. Obviously in those days, people would often get shun away if they had any peculiarities about them, any illnesses, and so it was quite sad to hear about Bamba Bronte. So he was kept in the cellar in the house. Didn't even have a candle in which to read or write, yet somehow in the dark his imagination exploded. I guess as it does, because his eyes can't see pictures, so he has to make them up. And the stories he created, he scrawled on the walls, somehow keeping a map, a memory map of where he had written, because obviously he couldn't see, he couldn't go back and check where he had written, so he had to have a map of all the walls in his mind and where he had written. And considering he hadn't really experienced much of the world, for him to create a story like Jane Eyre with such believable characters, with such vivid kind of descriptions of human interaction and feelings and conflicts, is really a testament to his genius. So here, standing at the edge of the quay, I can smell the sea. What does the smell? Well, what does the sea smell like? It's yeah, it's a little like the sea, as you expect, salty. So we'll probably stop here for a little drink, and I think we'll probably walk back to Funchal. You can walk back from here, you know. Probably could take you over an hour, depending where in Funchal you're staying. In the Lido, maybe an hour. If you're in the centre of town, okay, hour and a half, hour 40. Or you could just get the buses, of course. For now, it's goodbye from me. Take care.